Alrighty guys, down here on the old South 40, on that camp you've seen before of our own property, and just gonna make myself some coffee. Before I left the house, I bundled up a couple tablespoons in a coffee sack. I just have some hollowed out 550 quart I'm going to use as a tea bag. And also wanted to give this guy a shot with the alcohol. You guys have seen this tons before. I still get comments on this silly stove. People want me to do a video on how to make it, but there are literally probably thousands of videos on how to make your own alcohol stove. The only thing I did was I used the aluminum, what some people call coddle bottles. They're basically like the heavy-duty aluminum, like the Budweiser bottles that are aluminum. I took 2 of those, and in fact the Bud Light Blue happens to fit a little bit easier inside the red. I think that's what I've got on here. It's literally just an inch off the bottom of both sides. I cut a bunch of holes. I drilled a bigger hole in the middle that happened to fit a screw that keeps the alcohol in there. It all fits inside of my old Altoids tin. It's all rusted out because this is what I make char cloth in. I use the top for priming pan, and this thing's basically rusted up to hell just because it gets burnt up. So these are the bottles I used to carry in the side of the canteen carrier, whatever you want to call it, the M4 bag. They're about a 2-ounce bottle, and if I remember right, this stove only holds about an ounce, and you get about an 8-minute burn time. Now some of it spill in onto that tray, and that's why I keep the tray there, and that's pretty much it. So it just takes about 2/3 of that, so a little over an ounce it'll hold to be completely filled to the brim. Even though I'm just making coffee, what we're going to do is we're going to do a boil test before I put the coffee bag in. I'd literally just put the screw in the top of the damn thing, pull out my mesh rod and my skeletal. Let's see if you can get it on there, and it's lit. That'll take a second to prime up and do the usual alcohol stove thing. So in the meanwhile, sure we're all on camera here, you can take the stove, set it right over the top. We are leaning a little bit. I'm just on this stump. Let's pan down a little bit. And some people had some concerns about it not going inside the stove, and that's 1 cup. Let's do 2 cups. And this is not warm water. It's not frozen, but it's only probably 40-degree water. It's been outside here with me most of the day. And let's put our handy dandy lid on. Now it's fairly secure. It's not on a completely level surface either. I'm going to go ahead and start a timer from now, and I'm going to go run around and finish my errands out here, and I'll come back in maybe 5 minutes. Alright, at 6 minutes. Let me pull this off here. Well, it was trying to bubble before I took the top off. Got some bubbles in there. I'll throw this back on real quick. I think I might be out of fire. I think that alcohol is pretty old I had in there. Well, right at 7.5 minutes it went out. I think the alcohol I was using was a little bit old. And it was just shy of a boil. I'm going to say it's at least 180. I don't have my thermometer with me today, but working in the restaurants for so long, I can kind of gauge it. 160 is, I can put my finger in for about a second or two, but you don't really want to leave it there. Any higher than that, you know it's above 160. And that's just my gauge, the way my hands work. And I can tell you it's over 160. Not by much, maybe 170. Guys at work used to give me hell because I would taste the fryer oil, see if it tastes burnt, see whether you need to change or filter it. And that stuff's about 300 degrees. You know, if you don't leave your hands in there longer, you'll be fine. But working in kitchens around hot stuff, you get a little desensitized to it. But you can tell that's definitely a little above 160. I'd say about 170. Well, I only got about a cup left in the canteen, so this will be a little bit different test, but I wanted to use a little mil-spec gel with the canteen stove, and I just have a little bit of the alcohol left, so I'm going to use that to light the gel. Try to come up with as many ways possible. I don't think the birds like me doing that. So as you can see, this was a quick cleanup job after the other day's trip. I'm burning on a wood stump. Not too worried about that, but it would be nice if I get this a little more level here. And even though it's not level, it doesn't seem like it's going to fall over. Like I said, I only got a cup in there. I can offset this or find a more level spot, I suppose. But I think it'll work just fine. Let's put the lid on there. Here's a better look at the mil-spec gel. I got some big flames coming out the side. Not really sure why. Not sure if the mil-spec gel's too hot for the Duracoat. Didn't seem to be an issue with the alcohol stove. You can also see it's about 5.5, almost 6 minutes. This is a little over 1 cup of water. Brought fully to a boil, and you can also see it's trying to light the log on fire. Well, so that was the smoke problem I had, and why it was getting so sooty was actually lit the log on fire underneath it. And take this lid again. See if I can heat up my extremely hard and frozen Cliff Bar, white chocolate macadamia Cliff Bar, which sounded pretty good to me the other day. It is fresh, but out here it's so cold that it's rock hard. getting a little toasty. I have a feeling the sugar content might just burn up on that pan, but at least it'll be a little warmer. Got myself, it smells like toasted marshmallows actually. A little bit of sugar caramelizing on there. A little creme brulee. But, yeah. Thanks for joining me.